Welcome to Meba Unlocked.
Wait, there ain't no skit this time? No skit?
Well, we can't always be in the vault. We have to be well-rooted in reality sometimes. You know, things have been pretty serious in Tallahassee lately.
I understand you there, but we gotta lift the spirits because it's not all about history. History is not all that bad. Plus, isn't the entire point of our podcast is that we unlock history from our vault?
Why you gotta always, argue with everything that I say? Like, why we can't start the episode off on a good note for once?
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying.
I just feel like...
And you know I'm right. So
you know what?
Okay.
Let's roll the theme music. Thank you.
Welcome back to Meba Unlocked with your hosts, Terry Vale
and Carrie Meek. By this episode's release, a very important holiday will be just around the corner.
That's right. On Tuesday, April 29th, 1926, Carrie P. Meek was born.
Yes, the M in Meba herself. In honor of her birthday, we're giving you a little crash course on how the Meek-Eaton Black Archives got its name by showing you a glimpse of the woman behind the museum.
So before Carrie Meek became the first black person to represent Florida in the U.S. House of Representatives since the Reconstruction era, Carrie Pittman was the baby of 12 children, affectionately named Tot.
Born in Tallahassee, Carrie witnessed a segregated South that significantly impacted her childhood. Her grandmother was a slave, and her parents were sharecroppers. Even as a Girl Scout trying to help her community, Carrie was not free from racism.
That's right. So take a listen of this short clip of Kendrick Meek, Carrie P. Meek's son, recounting his mother's experiences. This 2019 interview was sourced by the U.S. Office of Historians under the House of Representatives.
She talked about how when she was a Girl Scout, that she would bake brownies along with her, Scout participants, and that they could not take it into the Capitol. They would have to stop at the sidewalk. The sergeant at arms would come and pick up the brownies for them as they watched their white little girls take the brownies to the senators and to the members of the legislature at the time.
When she got older, Carrie couldn't attend Florida State University's all-girls schools for her master's degree because black students were not allowed to enroll in white institutions for graduate education.
And what year was this again?
I think it was around the late 1940s. She graduated with her bachelor's degree in biology and physical education from FAMU in 1946. And she was pretty popular around campus because everybody knew her as a track star.
Okay. But wait, isn't that before the Brown versus the Board of Education passed in 1954?
Yes, but even when Brown v. Board of Education passed, Florida's dual higher education system would well be in place, with Florida University's system not even having admitted one black person into a white institution. The university system consisted of two schools for whites, Florida State University and the University of Florida, and one school for blacks, Florida A&M University.
So the unified efforts of legislators, the Board of Control who oversees the university system, and the Supreme Court justices essentially said, look, we're either going to build up your segregated black schools or we're going to shut it all down if y'all just keep asking for integration.
Yeah, pretty much. And when civil rights talks got too inflamed, as they were after World War II, when many black Americans had the idea that victory abroad meant victory at home, they would bring up those options. Carrie Meek received her master's degree from the University of Michigan in 1948 because the state funded an out-of-state scholarship so she wouldn't be admitted to the graduate programs at UF or FSU.
Oh, like when Brown was about to pass, they upgraded FAMU to a university and not a college, since, it was FAMC.
Exactly.
And this pattern was also seen in the 1960s when the civil rights movement was occurring and all the black junior colleges founded in Florida in 1954 closed and merged with white institutions.
Exactly, like that one with Garrett T. Wiggins. He founded that junior college in the 1960s, and then all of a sudden it just closed. Like, isn't that crazy how the timing works?
But here's my thing. With all these barriers, how did Carrie Meek become so powerful? Her love for public service transcended race so much that her son, Kendrick Meek, became the first African-American to succeed his own mother in Congress.
That's so funny. Can you imagine arguing with your mom and she's like, well, I mean, I came first, like, in everything. Like, watch your tone.
Like the chicken or the egg, you feel me? Like
the chicken or the... Well, she was the chicken and the egg?
No, she was the egg. Okay.
When we return to Meba Unlocked, we'll answer Terry's question on how Carrie Meek became a U.S. House representative and help Dr. James N. Eaton create the Meek-Eaton Black Archives.
You're listening to Meba Unlocked with Terry Vale and Carrie Meek.
tuned in to Meba Unlocked, and you right now listening to DJ Indy. And today we're handing out some care and positivity in the name of Carrie Meek. Let's give a big birthday shout out to Carrie Meek on the Meba Instagram page, FAMU Black Archives. And let's follow in her footsteps by giving back to your local community today. Give a compliment to somebody in the street. Donate to a homeless shelter. Take in a stray. Just be kind and spread some love and charity. The FAMU way. Happy birthday, Carrie Meek.
Welcome back to Meba Unlocked with Carrie Ann Jaffard and Terry Vale. So, how did Carrie Meek overcome racial barriers to become a U.S. House representative? Well, after she earned her master's degree in public health and physical education, she taught biology and PE and coached basketball at Bethune-Cookman University.
You know, I heard Mary McLeod Bethune was the one that had hired her, too.
And you'd be correct. According to Carrie Meek's son, Kendrick, Bethune was one of her role models. She made a great decision because Carrie took her kittens all the way to winning the 1950 Southeastern Athletic Conference.
It's giving Don Staley.
What? Who taught you that?
What you mean? That's the new hip term.
It's never used it's giving, and then you using it correctly too. Like who taught you that?
All right, back to Carrie Meek.
Okay, so anyway, after she worked at BCU, she taught at FAMU before accepting a position at Miami-Dade Community College. In 1979, she decided to run for office to fill the seat of the first Black woman to serve in the Florida legislature, Gwendolyn Cherry.
And this didn't come out of nowhere, though. While she was working at MDC for 3 decades, she was also very invested in public service. She had prior experience on the Federal City Planning Committee, the Model Cities program. It focused on investing in the social and economic framework of inner-city neighborhoods.
Despite this, local African-American leaders did not back Meek's campaign. In fact, the budget was so tight, MDC graphic design students created the posters with markers, a photo of Carrie, and some cellophane. Most of her campaign relied on her grassroots skills, where being a people person was crucial.
Yet she managed to beat 12 other candidates and served the Florida House of Representatives from 1979 to 1983 under the Education Appropriations Committee.
Then she became the first Black woman to be elected to the Florida Senate, serving for a decade from 1983 to 1993. Carrie was known as the conscience of the Senate.
And in 1992, when she decided to run for Congress, her opponents said that she was too old. So of course she had to prove them wrong and became one of the first 3 African-American lawmakers from Florida to serve in Congress since 1876.
Exactly. You know, she was on the Appropriations Committee, and that committee oversees federal spending. Her work helped her district get much-needed funding and aid after Hurricane Andrew devastated the community.
After winning re-election multiple times and serving 4 terms in Congress, Carrie Meek retired in 2003 and was directly succeeded by her son, Kendrick Meek.
As a close friend and colleague of Dr. Eaton, in 2006, the Florida legislature co-named a new facility in her honor. And that's how we got the Meek-Eaton Black Archives.
And though Carrie Meek unfortunately passed away in her Miami home in 2021, her long life of servitude can still be felt today and in many years to come.
Well said. So, happy birthday, Carrie Meek. Thank you so much for listening to this special episode of the Meba Unlocked podcast.
And be sure to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe and like all the videos.
And follow our Instagram at FAMU Black Archives to get updates on episodes, museum happenings, and more. We'll catch you in the vault another time.
Bye.